Hello, welcome back to my Battle of Dazar'alor raid guide. The fourth boss is Opulence. So the first thing that you need to do is split the raid into two groups. Make sure that you've got obviously one tank, one healer, and the DPS needs to be split evenly if you can, because each group is going to be taking on one of the guardians on each side, and they both have to be killed at the same time. Otherwise, either you'll fail because you've wiped, because the boss will gain a ridiculous buff which increases health by 100% and also increases damage done by 100%. So you'll either wipe, or if one group kills the ad before the other group and you go towards the boss, it reset for us, I think quite a few times actually. We kept getting all the way to the boss and then it just resets. So make sure you kill both ads at the same time. Okay, so each group takes a side. You want to just go. It reminds me of Mother, this fight. It really reminds me of Mother, and I did enjoy this one. So you're going to be in a chamber, and what you need to be doing is you need to be dodging all these things like flame jets, and you might get a beam following you. If you get the beam, you need to run away, ideally kite it around the edge of the room if possible. And the ad is going to be casting Crush. You need to make sure you're behind it before it casts it, otherwise it does cause a lot of damage. And also it will channel this spell called Flames of Punishment. We need to move around with the ad, so it's going to be turning quite fast. It's going to be turning around as it casts this Flames of Punishment. You need to make sure you're behind it. Do not get caught up in this cast, otherwise you will probably die. It's the worst mechanic of this guardian. If you're on one of the sides, I can't remember which side it is, but only one of the sides, you get this debuff called Volatile Charge. So it will expire, and you need to make sure you move to the edge of the chamber if possible and let it expire at the edge. Otherwise, anyone who runs into it is going to take damage. And there will be, again, I don't know if it's one side or the other. It was definitely on the one I was on, I think, anyway. There's going to be Hex of Lethargy. You need to dispel that. It does cause damage to the person who has the debuff if they move with that debuff, so you need to dispel it as soon as possible. Now, as a druid, I have Dispel, and it has an 8-second cooldown, so just cast it as soon as possible, and then you want to be dispelling the other one again once your cooldowns are off. Or if you've got someone else in your group that has Dispel, then get them to do it. That's great. I think that's about it, other than when you get to I think it's the final chamber, there's jewels. You need to each get a jewel. There's specific jewels for each player, so the tank has one, the healers have 2 different ones, and the DPS have other ones. I don't know which ones are for DPS anyway, but the healers have there's a purple one and a blue one. Ideally you want to have the purple one, definitely. You can have 2 healers take a purple one each, or is it pink? I don't know. Pink or pinky purple. Or you can have a blue one and a purple one, whichever, but one healer must have the pinky purple one. It's very important for the boss fight. So once you've killed the ads, once you've got your gem, going into the boss part. The boss, you need to keep him in the middle ideally and have everyone stacked up if possible. I don't think we did. I think it all fell apart, but we still did it anyway. So ideally have everybody stacked up, apart from a DPS person who has the yellow jewel, because they'll have a buff, which means they'll need to stay away from other people, otherwise they'll lose their buff. So everyone's stacked up. If you get the liquid gold debuff, you've got to get to the edge of the room, because after 12 seconds it will expire and it will drop a molten gold pool, so you want to get them all out to the edge. And there'll be some ads called Spirit of Gold. You need to kill them ASAP, CC them, because you need to make sure that they are killed ASAP. So move away from any of the gold burst piles that the ads will make spawn around the room, as they cause high damage to anyone within 5 yards. So keep away from them. Now before the boss casts Whale of Greed, you need to make sure that all players have got the Shadow Touch debuff. So the healer with the pinky purple gem, when they heal somebody, they'll get this buff called Shadow Touched. Okay, so you need to make sure every single person in the raid has got that buff before the boss casts Whale of Greed, because Whale of Greed casts very high shadow damage to everybody every 2 seconds for 10 seconds, and by giving them the Shadow Touch debuff, it does decrease the shadow damage that they take by 90% for 15 seconds. So make sure that everybody has got that buff. Okay, and that's pretty much your job, other than healing very hard when people get hit by these gold burst piles that the ads spawn. Also, when the boss has finished casting his Whale of Greed, he will get a stack of greed, which increases his damage done by 25%. Now this stacks, so every time he does cast the Whale of Greed, he'll get a stack of greed. So if the boss gets too many stacks of greed, he will wipe you. So you need to DPS the boss as soon as possible. And that's it really. Okay, good luck, and I thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and I hope it was helpful to you. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.